this question, why does Allah create us when He knows that some of us are going to go to hellfire? To answer that question, first let's look at the problem. The problem is people think that if I have been created by Allah and I am going to do certain bad actions, and those bad actions Allah knows. He knew it before I was even born. He knew I was going to do them. And then after that I carry on doing the bad actions, and then I die, then I get resurrected, then I get sent to hellfire. Now people question, they say, how fair is that? How fair is that Allah knew this was all going to happen and He still allowed it, and He did it, you know, the servant did it, and in the end the servant ends up in hellfire? How is it fair? The first and foremost thing, brothers and sisters, is that there's a difference between Allah knowing something and Allah decreeing something. When Allah knows something's going to happen, He knows it's going to happen. He knows everything that's going to happen, that's fine. But if He decrees something, that means He made it happen. That means there was no choice except that that was going to happen. So for example, when I'm in this world and I am going along my life, when I'm doing this, then Allah Azza wa Jal has given me some free will and He hasn't given me some free will. Some things Allah has absolutely fixed and I've got no choice, but those things are going to happen. And other things Allah has given me a choice and I've got a free will. Those things that I've got a free will in and I decide to do something or not to do something, I'm going to be questioned on the Day of Judgment for those things. But the things that Allah made me do and it was going to happen no matter what, then of course in our minds right now it's unfair that those things Allah made me do, and then He's going to question me and say, why did you do it? Okay, which are the things in our lives that we've got free will, where we've got free will, and which are the things we don't have free will? We don't know. We will only find out on the Day of Judgment about those things. There are certain things that we've got no say in, and there are certain things we have got a say in. We've got a way to change things. So for example, somebody came to Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu and he said, how much free will have we got compared to how much Allah has determined for us? And he said, stand up on one leg. So the man stood up on one leg. He said, now while that one leg is in the air, lift the other one. He said, I can't. He said, that's your answer. Allah has given you free will to lift one leg up, while one leg up in the air without any support for that one leg. Of course there's another leg that's supporting your body, but you can't lift both of your legs up at the same time. That's the decreeing part. Allah hasn't given you free will in that. The first part, Allah has given you free will in that. Now what I want to say to you, brothers, is yes, there is a thing between free will and what Allah has decreed, but let's look at it another way. This inshallah should answer the question. What most people do is, most people think from a rational world, from this world here right now, and they say, look, I'm a human being, I was made to come in this world, Allah made me, Allah knew everything that's going to happen, Allah made me do certain things, and then I get up on the Day of Judgment and then I'm thrown into hellfire. It's not fair. Okay, that wasn't fair. Or certain people, they ended up on the Day of Judgment, they didn't accept Islam, whatever else happened, and then they go to hellfire for a very long time. That's not fair. That's what people say. Yes or no, guys? That's what people say. Now, let's look at it backwards. To understand this, to get this to make sense, you have to look backwards. We're saying from this world, by projecting to the next world, we're saying things don't look fair. Allah says to us, project it from the akhirah to the dunya. How do you do that? Allah said in the Quran, La dhulma al-yawm, there is no oppression today about the Day of Judgment. Allah has said about the Day of Judgment, Al-yawma la tudhlamu nafsun shay'a. Today no soul shall be oppressed by even the least in any matter. Allah said there's no oppression on the Day of Judgment. That means everything on the Day of Judgment is going to be fair. It's going to be absolutely fair. Everyone who ends up on the Day of Judgment will say everything Allah did was fair. That's how you look backwards. So now something's gone wrong in the way we've seen it from this world to the next world, instead of seeing what Allah is saying on the Day of Judgment. So let's look at a quotation of somebody on the Day of Judgment. On the Day of Judgment, certain people will say, who will go to hellfire, they will say, Rabbana, oh our Lord, Absarna, we've seen everything, Sami'na, we've heard everything. Fa'atarafna bidhnubina, we've admitted that we were at fault. Farji'na, just send us back. Na'mal salihan inna muqinun, we will do good actions, we are absolutely convinced that everything was fine. And hear their words. Allah is telling us the words of the people on the Day of Judgment. In fact, people in hellfire will say that, they won't say, nobody on the Day of Judgment, nobody in hellfire, even the people at the time of death don't say, Allah, it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. You made us do it, and then now you're telling us that we're going to go to hellfire. It wasn't fair. You knew we were going to do this, and now you're going to do this. It's not fair. La ilaha illallah, my friends, this is not how it works. Yes, Allah knew the actions that we're going to do, but He didn't make us do every single action where we've got no free will. Yes, we did actions, and Allah said in the Holy Quran, وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ رَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ, that whatever you will, Allah has got a will as well for that action. What does that mean? That means that you cannot do any action without Allah giving the permission for that action to actually happen.